Hey, I have an exciting announcement that I've been waiting for. If you don't know who I am, I'm Shannon Vandenberg. I am a 15-time best-selling author with my own oracle deck and journal and a story shaman. So I've been publishing books for over 5 years now, and I did something really cool with the last book, which broke Amazon in 5 minutes. We are actually in the middle of the summit for that book right now, Revolutionary Icons. So if you haven't got that, you might want to go run and get it. It's back on Amazon after we broke it, which was crazy, like global Amazon. Yeah, I still have to process a little bit. But I did something really fun in that book, and I'm going to do it again for Kiva's next book, which is a dragon book. It is untitled as of yet, but it's a dragon book, I can tell you. So we have ancestral wisdom, Shakti, rose lineage, multidimensionality, multidimensional business, multidimensional women, feminine divinity. Did I say ancestral wisdom? Earth keepers, fire medicine, Kundalini, there's so many things that are dragon medicine. And I'm so excited to start talking about dragon energy to you. If you don't know, every single Kiva book to date, including my oracle deck and journal, I have literally gone and asked, what is the medicine that needs to be amplified on the planet right now? And I always get a super clear answer. And this one was dragons. I wanted it to be a little bit something different. I thought maybe. And we all have that tendency to be like, maybe next time. And then it's like, no, now. So this is a dragon book. It's going to be called the Dragon Book till it has a title. But I'm going to do something that I did last time, which had wild results, which was that I included something different. Instead of having one level of authorship with me, which this is Kiva's 9th book that you'll be in, 9th collaborative book, meaning multi-author. If you don't know, multi-author books are usually a group of women coming together to write. These are very different containers. My collaborative books are world-class, one of a kind, nothing like them out there ever. So if you've been in one and you've had a bad experience, because I have authors come to me all the time for their second experience and tell me how different I am, like from night to day experience, that they're an amazing place to meet a new community of women. My communities are badass women coming together, doing an incredible thing that's a win-win-win situation. We literally, all the proceeds go to a charity. They are super dynamic, multifaceted books because they're written by a group of women, so they're not boring and dull, and they have so many different facets to them. People love to read them and dive into them. They're a great way to create a PR event for yourself. If you're somebody that's looking for more podcasts or to write your own book and build your platform, scale your audience, scale your business, all of it is something that happens when you choose to be in a collaborative book with me. I can only say that for with me. Because even when I was in 4 collaborative books before I started my publishing company, I was looking around the containers I was in and being like, well, great. I'm a great writer. I've wanted to be a writer since I was literally 4 years old. But why am I having these different results? Well, so I broke down, I went and got certified, which was a nothing certification, and literally broke down the system, built a new system, put all my shamanic wisdom, all of my psychic writing abilities, I can't even tell you the energetics that go into writing and bringing yourself to writing, your creative process, so much of that. So if you're not a good writer or don't see yourself as one, don't worry about it. It has nothing. Writing has nothing to do with being a good writer. Nothing. It has to do with your frequency. But so there's so many cool things that can come of choosing a PR event, like being part of a collaborative book with me. And one of the biggest benefits is having a massive sale off the end. That's one of the things I noticed when I was in these other books before I started my publishing company, is that I was having massive results. My first book, I had over 75 DMs, right after the book launched, I sold out a program way beyond what I wanted to sell it out, and had all these like really cool things happen. My audience, I think, doubled in size. And so I noticed like, wow, I am really good at this. And I am a system breaker, downer, builder. And so I did all that, and Kiva Publishing was born. And these collaborative books, I've had up to 30 women in a book. Revolutionary Icons, the last book, had 17 authors. They are just such an initiation. They bring so much momentum and vitality to your life, to your business, so much excitement. I was just creating something today, and I literally I always write down my purpose for creating something or joining something, whatever. And I wrote down excitement as one of the things. I was like, wow, I wonder how many women are actually like naming the excitement piece for themselves. Like, I want something that's giving me energy, that's not evolving me. That's huge, right? And so these collaborative books do all that. But I'm taking it a step further, and I started with Revolutionary Icons. I'm adding 6 keynote author spots. And they're limited to 6 spots. And they all filled up with Revolutionary Icons. There's a whole story behind that whole thing, which I'll be sharing in the coming weeks. But I'm opening those keynote author spots first for the book. If you're interested in the other author spots, which there's 2 other levels, which all have their purpose, you can DM me and I can get you the details to those. But I'm opening the pre-sale for the keynote author spots. So these will be the lowest price that you can get in for. And there's a whole bunch of super cool things with the keynote author spots. I'll be kind of spotlighting those over the next few days, because this pre-sale for the keynote author spots is over on Monday at midnight. So I'll tell you a little bit about it, but the keynote author spots are very different. These are for the women who are ready to not only be initiated, but to be initiated on a grand scale, who are ready to work very closely with me in such a small group of women. The keynote authors have their own community, their own Telegram community. You also get access to the larger author community, but you have more access, more coaching with me in Telegram. You have twice monthly calls with me for our 4-month Master Muse. So you get a mastermind with us. Master Muse, because you're writing, you're creating, you're in your creator era, your writer era, which is such a big era. If you haven't wanted that for yourself, you probably want that for yourself. So you get the 4-month Master Muse, which means that like I set you up before you start writing. We walk you through what you're going to write, why you're going to write it, what you're selling off the back end, like how that all connects, because that's one of my pieces of mastery, is bringing all that forward, bringing your voice, your frequency, your energy into it. That's why people like to read what I write, because it's full of energy. It's full of my energy, my frequency. And I teach you how to do that. And I teach you how to sell off the back end of your chapter and keep selling. I had a woman from a book that I was in 7 years ago for somebody else. I was in somebody else's book. I had a woman come into my world a couple months ago and hire me immediately after reading that chapter. So there's like wild things that can come of just being part of a collaborative book, because they're on a different platform. They're long form content. Like there's so much difference there. But these keynote author spots are a deep dive into your creativity, into your expression. You're hearing my son jump on the trampoline. If you hear weird ass noises, that's what it is. So they're a deep dive. You're going deep into expression. You get developmental edits with me, which I can tell you, like, I thought it was going to be powerful for the last group of women who were keynote authors, but it was really powerful. What I could see into their chapter, how it changed how they viewed their writing, how they could shift their writing a little bit, how they knew their authority code that was behind the writing, which you want to talk about selling anywhere, anytime. That authority code, it's big. It's really, really big. Because when you know that your authority code is intimacy or authority itself, And you bring that, and you can add that through frequency words and a little shift here and there and bring more of that story in, or less story altogether and going deeper into story. Like there's crazy amount of things that can be done when you look at writing like a portal, like I do. And not for your portal and the portal you're creating, but the portal that you're letting somebody access. It's wild. So you get developmental edits with me, which, I mean, people charge thousands of dollars to do this. Thousands. And they're not even that great at it, most of them. I've taught several different developmental editors, and I will say that that's fine. I will say that developmental edits, there are very few people that have the frequency level awareness that I have. So that's a massive one. Like, your developmental edits are probably worth the price of a keynote author spot in themselves for the transformation that you will have in themselves. You get your name on the cover of the book. You want to talk about taking up the spotlight, like taking up space, like getting visible? Have your name on the cover of a book. Put that book up in your house. Oh my God, I have my name on the cover of a fucking book. That's something to walk around the house and say to yourself. And I do that, so I can speak to it. And so you have the Master Muse. You get developmental edits. You get 4 months of intimate support with me. You get your name on the cover. You get features and like the summit and like some keynote author graphics, which you get like your own version of graphics and things for the release and after. But the keynote author spot's real benefit is how much you're up leveling, right? How much, and like we can talk about like going deep into your medicine, into dragon medicine, and you working with dragon medicine. Like, there's so many benefits. I can't talk about them all in one place. But the keynote author spots are something you won't want to miss. If you've been looking for that thing that changes everything, it's probably being a keynote author in this dragon book, because it will transform you. I couldn't believe when I was in a little chapter for another publisher, my first chapter that I had written for a book, I was like, I wrote a little 2,000 word chapter, and like, how is this going to change me? Well, I wrote the chapter 10 times and went so deep into that medicine. My portal that I created for myself, because there wasn't much support in that specific container, but the portal that I created for myself, the power of story, how much it released and unleashed within me, I came out the other side. And this is coming from somebody who has been buying and engaging with personal growth, coaching and stuff for almost 30 years. I'll tell you, it's one of the most transformative containers I've ever been in. And I'm kind of a one-on-one coaching girly, so like, that's saying something. So if you're looking for that next level, that next thing that's going to change you, it's going to shift your energy, your frequency, your business. It's going to change how your business trajectory is going. Add that momentum, add that life force, add that actual excitement, right? For you, for your community. Believe me, once you tell your community that you're going to be in a book, like, people look at you differently. Before you're ever in the book, before you've ever written a word. In matter of fact, most authors that come into my world, and I'm not even talking about keynote authors, I'm talking about all authors, that come into my world tell me from the moment that they saw me on a video like this, or literally they saw a story of mine and they were like, what the fuck is that? I think I have to do that. Like, and they said like that they had that yes sensation in their body. Everything in their world started to change, to accelerate. They literally got on a rocket and started moving in a different way. And they were like, what is happening? And so I have a lot of women who are like, please send me the link. Send me the link now. I don't know what this is, but I need to do the thing because I already feel it and I haven't even done anything. So the keynote author spots are open. They are pre-sale until Monday at midnight. So that is the 6th of July. The price will raise, And there's only 6. So when they're gone, they're gone. We already have 4 keynote authors who are looking at doing it again. So just saying, if you want one of these spots, if you're interested, let me know. I will get you the application. And also, they will not be this price probably ever again, but the price will raise on Monday also, because the more I do this and the more transformation that I have with women, the price will just continue to raise as well. So you can send me the word keynote and I will get your application. You can meet me in the DMs and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have once you have the details, because there is a lot to this. And so if you're curious, I dare you to fill out the application. My application is activating in itself, and the keynote one is built specifically to get you moving and get you thinking about, what kind of spotlight do I need? Is this my author era? And all those things. So let me know if this is you, if you would like to check out the keynote author spots.